The Clever Fox. Once upon a time, in a dense and lush forest, there lived a clever fox named Felix. Felix was known throughout the forest for his intelligence and cunning. He always managed to find food and avoid danger, even when the other animals found themselves in trouble. One bright, sunny day, Felix was wandering through the forest, his nose twitching as he searched for something delicious to eat. Suddenly, he came across a vineyard. The grapes hanging from the vines were plump, juicy, and glistening in the sunlight. Felix's mouth watered at the thought of tasting them. However, the grapes were hanging high up on the vine, out of reach. Felix tried jumping and stretching, but no matter what he did, he couldn't reach them. He grew increasingly frustrated but decided to remain calm. He knew that being clever was his greatest strength. Instead of giving up, Felix sat down and thought for a while. He noticed that the vineyard was surrounded by a high stone wall. Felix made his way around the wall until he found a small slope that led up to the top of the wall. He climbed up the slope and found himself perched on top of the wall, overlooking the vineyard. From this vantage point, Felix could see that the grapes were still too far away. He realized that if he jumped from the wall, he would not only miss the grapes but might hurt himself as well. So, Felix thought of another plan. He noticed a cluster of grapes that was slightly closer to the edge of the wall. With great precision, Felix carefully reached out and grabbed the grapes. As he tasted them, he discovered they were sour and not as delicious as he had hoped. Felix realized that all his efforts had been for nothing because the grapes were not worth the trouble. Felix sighed and said to himself, "Sometimes, things that seem tempting are not always as good as they appear. It's better to appreciate what you have than to risk everything for something that might not be worth it." With this newfound wisdom, Felix made his way back down the wall and returned to the forest. He was content with the knowledge that he had learned an important lesson. From then on, whenever Felix saw something that seemed too good to be true, he remembered the sour grapes and thought twice before chasing after it. Moral of the story: sometimes, things that seem appealing might not be as valuable as they appear. It's important to be content with what you have and not to risk everything for something that might not be worth it.